Welcome back, guys. I bought some more stuff for the Fiero. Here's what I got. I'm stoked. Got a Holley Sniper EFI. We're going to be switching over to fuel injection. Bought an in-tank pump. We're moving the pump back to inside the tank. Get rid of the Holley blue pump because, well, we need more pressure anyways. Start out with the throttle body. Here it is. These are good for 800 NA power. The X-Flow is not internally regulated, so you have to have an external regulator, but these ones, the Holley Sniper and Super Sniper, do have an internal regulator. And looks like they're set up for non-progressive. I think we'll just leave it and see how that works. But the idea of switching to EFI is that way we can boost this thing later. I guess a couple things. With the distributor, you have to have a magnetic style or a Hall effect style. And then you also need to have, you can't use solid core wires. I tried it, we fried something inside of the Sniper on the Chevelle. We could get it to run without the timing control after we fried it, but it would not send any signal to the CDI box for timing control. Once it was fried, we'd use the yellow Excel solid core wires. So don't do that. We're gonna be obviously removing the carb. We're gonna be using this coil, and we're gonna be using my MSD or my Summit Racing billet distributor, just MSD Pro billet rip off. And then we're gonna be using the Crane High 6 CDI box instead of using the Hyperspark stuff. There's no reason to use the Hyperspark unless you don't already have. If you already have this stuff, you might as well just stick with your CDI box you have in your distributor to save a little bit of money. So yeah, we'll get started on ripping this stuff apart. So we need to add a coolant port or a coolant temp sensor for this thing. And I have one more port right here underneath the thermostat because you want it before the thermostat. But last time I tried to get that fitting out, I couldn't get it out. And this is for my gauge inside, and I like to have both. I'm gonna work on trying to get that one out. All right, guys, I got a little bit of an update. I haven't made a ton of progress. I've pretty much just been planning out my wiring, because a lot of it is too long for what I'm doing. So like this wire here needs to go to my distributor, but it's pretty short, so obviously this plug can't be too far away. Then that means everything else is really long. I mounted these here. I would like to have mounted them in here, but I would have had to cut them and recrimp them, because to depin this one, it comes out the wrong way. Yeah, so I just mounted them there. I'm gonna nutsert them later. Just right now I just have self tappers. So what I'm using, I'm not gonna be using this yellow wire because I'm doing timing control. So later when I run boost, I can pull timing. So you don't run the yellow wire. Your pink wire here, that's your keyed source. So obviously what comes on with the key, and also when it's cranking, you wanna make sure it still has power. Battery power, negative. And they say to run that straight to the battery, nothing in between. But my battery's in the front. I've got away with it on a couple cars, just running it to a good solid battery lead, and haven't had a problem. So I'm gonna do that again. So I won't be using this plug here. This has, well, not right now at least. This is for some different sensors. I could add an oil pressure sensor and dome pressure and stuff like that, but right now I won't be using it. I will be using this other one. This is a 10 pin, and I got it set up right here. So this is what I'm not using, obviously. And I'm going to be using the tack, so my factory tack will work. This is the fan output, and this white wire is what you use for the timing control with the ignition boxes. So basically, right now my ignition box goes, and here's the crank trigger for it. So we're gonna get rid of that. The sniper will go there, and this will go away. The ignition box will still stay wired up to the coil, but that white wire I just showed you guys will go to your points wire here, and that's how it sends the signal to fire. It's pretty simple. The only part I still got to do, obviously, I still got to wire everything, just kind of have everything routed. I got to pull the distributor out and lock it out, and then I got to find top dead center and phase. I got an adjustable rotor right here, so this is how you do it. Got an adjustable rotor, so we'll be able to phase it perfectly. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna probably call it a night pretty soon here, and then tomorrow's my Friday, so I'll be able to stay up and knock a lot of this out. I just kind of wanted to get everything laid out, get a plan for the wiring, because like I said, some stuff's too long. For me, it's too long. For other guys, it's probably too short. So you just kind of have to make do with what you got. Probably call it a night right now, like I said, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys, it's day 2. I went ahead and I got some of the wiring wrapped up, most of it. So here's my plan. I'm gonna make a bracket coming off of that holds these two in line to try to make it look kind of clean. And then over here are my distributor wires, my tack wire. Right here you can see my fan wire, so that'll go down to the fan switch. I already showed you the relay and fuse. Then in here we got the ignition output right there to my CDI box. Then our main power, our main ground is right there too, right here. And then our ignition, our 12 volt keyed source right here. I just have it on this distribution block. So I still got to hook up the fan wire and the fuel pump wire. I got to jack it up to do that. And then I'm going to hook up the 2-step. So I guess I will be using all 3 plugs. But right now, just kind of getting everything on top done and the main stuff. I'm going to go ahead and pull the distributor out now and lock it out and start phasing that. So right now, obviously, it has mechanical advance in it. So we're going to pull the roll pin out here. Right there, pull that out. I'm not sure if this one, I think it's just like an MSD, but on an MSD you'll pull that out, then you can pull the shaft up, turn it 180, and it'll go into a tab where you can lock it out and it won't do that sprung mechanical advance. So I'm gonna get this roll pin out of here and see what it looks like. I guess we're gonna take the springs off first. You can see it's got the timing bushing in it. I don't know which one that is, maybe 16 or 18 degrees, whatever. So we'll pull that off, and it was in here where it could move, and then we'll put it in this tab here and lock it in. So we won't be using this cap. Obviously we'll be using that phasable cap I showed you guys. So we'll throw that on there too, I guess, right now. All right, so now we got a locked out distributor. I got it marked number 1 there. So that's where I'll try to shoot for, so all my wires are still the same length. But now we got to pull all the plugs out and roll the motor over and get it at top dead center on the compression stroke, then advance it to 45 degrees, and then that's where it'll be phased at 45. So you'll line up, your balancer will be at 45 degrees, and you'll stab this thing in and line it up where the magnetic pickup is in line with any one of these. But just keep in mind, you want it close to that. That way, time it to 30 degrees or wherever you time it. It's not going to be too far away. So So, because any tower can be number one. It doesn't have to be a certain one. It's just wherever you stab it on that compression stroke, that's going to be your number one, and then you'll do your firing order from there. All right, guys. So I got the distributor phased out right now. So I took a piston stop, which if you don't know what that is, that's this thing here. It screws into your spark plug, and then you can run this part in and out. And what you do, this is how you find true top dead center with the engine still assembled. So what you do is you screw that in there, and then you'll take and you'll turn it all the way one way, your crank, you'll turn it all the way one way, make a mark. Doesn't matter where, as long as you mark it in the same spot. So I just marked it here. Then you turn it all the way the other way, make another mark there, and then you measure the distance between those two marks, and exactly between those two marks is top dead center. So that gave me my 0, because this balancer, it was marked, but it was a mile off, and so I had just like thrown another balancer on top of it and just made a little mark where 0 was at. But now I know exactly where 0 is at on this engine. So I found my 0, and then I took a piece of tape, made a mark at 0, 15, 30, and 45. And to figure that out, you take diameter times pi divided by 360, and then that answer divided by the degrees. So the diameter of your harmonic balancer, mine was 6.75. So 45 degrees from 0 is 2.65 inches. And then 15 degrees was 7/8, and then 1 3/4-ish. So did that, lined that 0 up with the 0 on my damper. And then to phase it, you phase it at 45 degrees before top dead center. So you just roll that thing over till 45 lines up with the 0 on your timing pointer, and then you just make sure this reluctor wheel is lined up with the pickup. And then Holley's website has this all on there, like a pretty good video on setting this up. So I'm just kind of running through it. So then I phased the pickup at 45, and then the rotor at 30 degrees. So then I turned it to 30 degrees to where that was pointing at my number 1 mark. So then I can put my cap back on. It's all locked down. I think the next thing I'll work on is maybe dropping the tank. All right, guys, we got most of it, most of the fuel system done. We got, let's see, this is our return here. Goes over there, the regulator, and then here's our feed. And I think we're ready to fire this thing up. We just have the handheld just hooked up here. We haven't ran it inside yet. We still got some stuff to tidy up, but we just want to fire it up and make sure everything works right. So Wizard, it's a 550 541, I think.
Yeah, 541.
Right there, Sniper X Flow 4 injector. 8 cylinders. Target idle. We'll go 900. Whoa. Street strip. No turbo yet. Magnetic distributor. There's the tune, I guess. Pretty basic. Hey guys, it's a couple days later. Obviously we got it running. It started up first try. I was pumped about that. But we got a couple bugs. So I took it out yesterday I took it out with my buddy Taylor, and we went to go get it aligned at my buddy John's shop so we could actually beat on it and drive straight. And it doesn't want to rev past 3,000, so I'm wondering if I got that phasing off a little bit. I can't see the timing marks like I showed you guys. So my plan is to time it off the number 8 plug. I just have to make a timing pointer for that spot. And that's how, I remember a long time ago learning that that's how the RVs do them with the big blocks. Since you can't get in there, since everything's so tight, they have a timing pointer underneath and you time it off the number 8 plug. So I'm gonna do that. And then also it overheated there and back. So I don't know if maybe that's the radiator cap that is not holding the pressure back, and it pukes it all out, and then I get a big air bubble and or whatever. So I don't know. I might put a cap on it because that's easy. But I also want to put a surge tank in it so it's easier to fill this thing, because it's a pain in the butt. I don't have a rear fill. I could add one, but it's still a pain in the butt to bleed these things. So I put a surge tank on my Celica, and that thing never gets an air bubble in it. It's easy to bleed, but it also doesn't have a thermostat. So I don't know. I'm gonna start with the timing, I think, today, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, so here's what I did. I used that piston stop like I said. I used a number 8 over there. It's right here now, and then so I got my mark one way, spun it around the other way, got my other mark. And what I did is I took this piece of tape, transferred the marks to the tape. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure it, split that in half, lay it on the tape, put it back up there, and in between there, that'll be my my new 0 for timing it with the number 8 plug. So I'm gonna do that and get it all laid out, and bring it up on the compression stroke on number 8, and that'll tell me where to put my timing pointer. Okay, guys, I got a temporary timing pointer right there. You can see I got 0, 15, 30, 45. Got my timing light right here, and I'm timing off number 8 like I said. So let's see if it works. It worked. We were able to read timing, but according to this thing, it was at 45 degrees, so I retarded it to 15. We'll take it out for a spin tomorrow after I get off work, see if it'll run any better. Haven't really fixed the cooling issue, and I could see it was dripping some coolant right there. Yeah, you can see it dripping. I think it's this little hose right here. See how it's kind of like it's kind of flared out right there. That might be why. I guess we'll see. I need to work on that, change the radiator cap, figure out what I'm gonna do up there. But hopefully it'll run better at least, so I don't have to. I probably will buy the Hyperspark distributor. For now, I just want it to run good so I can drive it around until I do buy that. This cap, I noticed we moved it while it was tightened down. The stud was tightened down, and it kind of moves quite a bit, so that could mess with the timing. So I kind of marked it where I want it, but that doesn't mean it won't vibrate. Might have to wait till the next video to take it out for a drive, I guess. Maybe I'll order the Hyperspark during the week. Yeah, we might just order the Hyperspark during the week, get it by next weekend. But so we can get a video out, we'll post everything on installing this Sniper. If you got any questions on it or the install, go ahead and ask us in the comments. Some of the wires I just kind of ran through because the wiring's the boring part to me, but I guess it's kind of crucial. These are the wires I'm not using. But I am using a couple from that plug, so I got to run that plug. I forget what I'm using. Fan, factory tack output, I think, is one of them. But yeah, and there's the fuel lines. So I guess let us know if you got any questions. Thanks for all the support, guys. We've been getting quite a few subs, but if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment, like it, and we'll keep posting. All right, we'll see you guys.